Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Manera, and we are live. So let's make sure, first of all, that we can hear me, see the video, and my dogs are very excited about today for some reason. Right, Scarlett? So, and we have closed captions. So let's make sure we have all of that. So, let's make sure we have those three things. Good morning, Ann and everyone, says Chris Castelli. Good morning to you, Chris. Rhonda says, hey. Hey, Rhonda. Let's make sure we have everything we need. Yay, here we go, says Paula. I know, isn't it exciting? My dogs are so, like... Scarlett has probably eaten about 10 biscuits already since in the past 10 minutes. All right, Marianne says loud and clear. Okay, so we've got our sound. Sound and video are good. So Chris says we've got our sound and video. All right, I'm going to go with Marianne and Chris because they're professional sounders. And Rhonda is saying I could read the closed captions. Awesome. So I have made sure that my videos have closed captions if anyone is hearing impaired. Okay, so first of all, let's have everyone get settled in the comment section of this video. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. There's going to be way more people here than just the people that are here. So, first of all, if you could share this on your Facebook page or out to a coloring group, I greatly appreciate it. The other thing is that you can get a free page today. There's a link in the comments, at the beginning of these comments. So if you scroll up and you can find this Be Brave page. And then let me just get my dog something to be quiet. Excuse me, to be quiet. And I will be right back. I'm using Spear Farben color pencils today. Hang on. Come on, girls. Let's go see what you need. Apparently you need a lot. Oh, girls. Girls. What can I get you? I don't know what to say, my friend. Huh? What else do we have? You want to have this? What about this? See? Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, hey, Scarlett. Yeah. Take this. Hey. Will this help you up? That's it. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's see who's here with us this morning. This is going to be a little bit different, by the way, than our usual color along. Haven't done a live video in a long time. Excuse me while I eat. While I grabbed a bite while I was giving the dog a snack. Don't worry, I'm not eating a dog biscuit. I wish there was a way to invite people, you know, while the video's live, like click on something. I see some people do that, but I don't know if I can do that. First of all, let me say, I am really happy to be here live. I've missed everyone. I appreciate everybody continuing to follow me during my little hiatus. I had some personal things going on. So, taking my attention. Things are still happening, but at least it's kind of plateaued. But, as my friend Chris told me one day when we were chatting, that a live video is probably a good distraction. And so right, let me tell you. Thank you, Bev. I know I've missed it, you know. I've missed it a lot. It's just that life has been a little crazy. Some of you know what's going on. I'm not going to announce it to the entire world, but if you want to know and you want to send me a message, I would gladly tell you, but I'm not going to announce it to, like, the all of Facebook right now, but, all right, so, let's talk about what is happening. I had an announcement pop up while on phone and Facebook, then I popped in. I thought you said then you pooped. Okay, there's where my head is, right? All right, so this is the deal. I have this new book. It's called Just Be. That's why we're here, right? Just Be coloring book. But what's cool about this book is it's not just a coloring book. It is also a full color book. And the coolest part is that I usually wait to get my author copies, and I usually like wait to and get them like weeks after all of you get them. Get a copy of the book, but I ordered these, and I'm gonna flip through my color version, which I'm super excited about because there's a lot of new things happening with these books. And I'm gonna keep talking about this as we go through today. This is in full color. It's available as paperback. This full color paperback book is $21.99 on Amazon. I did my best to keep the prices at an affordable level rather than shooting them up. I was looking at what other authors are charging for different books. Full color really ups the game when it comes to price. So this is available as a full color book for $21.99 as paperback. A hardcover book for $29.99. I've never done a hardcover book ever before, but this is available as a hardcover book. And hardcover is very expensive, I know, but I ordered my copy, so it should be here in a couple of weeks. And it's also available as a Kindle book for only $2.99. Now, what's cool about it being available as a Kindle, which a couple of people have said this, is that it's a nice way, nice thing to refer to for colors. So it's the same book. I included some blank journal pages, some line journal pages, because I think it would be fun to take a look through it. But really, this book is really something that I had wanted to do for a while. I wanted to do a coloring book that was more than a coloring book. Maybe it was a story. Instead, I opted to illustrate this and be very simple and have it a simple message. Honestly, I needed a distraction from what was happening in my own life, so I just went crazy with this. I kind of miss it because it's over, because it's complete. Hate when that happens. But we're going to take a look through this. So that's what's happening with Just Be Inspiring Words of Wisdom to Brighten Up Your Days. So here's the coloring book version, and this is why we're here today. I mean, we're here for many reasons today, because this is more than a color along. So starting today, every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be live coloring from this coloring book. I'm going to go in order. Today we have the Be Brave page, which I'm offering as a free page for you on my website. You can scroll up in the comments and you can see the link to this page. And I've printed mine out on cardstock this morning. I'll be using Sperrfarben colored pencils. But more importantly, we want to talk about the messages in the book. So the book is the same as the color book, like I said. So it has, let's start with this, okay? So it's far more than a coloring book as far as what the message is. So every page has a quote. It has a paragraph that I wrote. It's not something that I grabbed from the internet. There's the paragraph that I wrote. I never do a dedication page, but this is my dedication page for this book. It's dedicated to my mom, who encourages me to be all I can be. So my mom is I spend a lot of time with my mom, first of all, and sometimes I feel like she's my biggest critic. But at the same time, she pushes me to be all I can be. So this is my dedication page. And then when we read through from the author, basically this is going to talk about what this book is all about, what this whole concept of this book is all about, and what the message is all about. And I want to talk about that and what's going to happen through these X amount of weeks that we're going to be together is we'll be coloring from each page here of all of the things that you can be. And throughout the coloring book, it starts out with this page. Then it moves on. So a page with a quote. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what it means to be brave. And then we're going to color this page. And I'll do a quick flip through before we talk about what the book is all about. But I want to talk about what it means to be brave, because bravery is a funny thing. We all try to be brave. We all try to put on our brave face. We all try to put on our big girl pants, right? And we all try to say that we can do it. And But then maybe we sit in the shower and cry our eyes out and say, I can't do it, and I'm not brave enough to do it. So what's brave, what may be, what you may be brave about, what may be bravery to you, or the definition of bravery to you, may be something far different than someone else, than your friend. So, and it's interesting because Facebook is something that we all participate in, but it can be a little dangerous sometimes, because what ends up happening is we're looking at what everybody else is accomplishing in life and all of the good things. So people only want to show what they did that was good, right? So it's weird because Facebook will show the really good or the really bad. So people either want to say, wow, that's great, or people want to say, oh no, I feel so bad for you. So it's interesting that we don't get that in between, you know? What do you all think about this? And I want to hear throughout, we can talk about what that bravery means. We want to keep it upbeat. Same thing. So each week we'll be working on these pages. Now, we're not going to be able to color both pages about bravery today, right? We're not going to be able to color the one with the words and the one with the flowers. So what my plan is that we would color the one with the flowers today with the woman, with the girl. Be brave. And then next week we'll work on the one with the words, and we'll still be able to talk about it. So today I'm going to be using Farben 96 set of colored pencils. You can use anything you would like. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. And that's what's going to be happening. So while I'm flipping through this for a little bit here, I want to just stop for a minute and just say hello to everyone and thank everyone for being here, because this is so awesome. Sarah is here with us this morning. Good morning to Sarah. Haven't seen you in a long time, Sarah, because I know that you've been working while I usually do a video, and I haven't done any live videos, so this is a treat, right? Marianne's here, of course. Good morning to Marianne. Sherry, good morning, good morning. Good morning to Dawn. Good morning to Paula. Rhonda's here. I already said hello to Rhonda, but hello times two. Who else is here with us this morning? Bev Larson. Alice is here. Good morning, Alice. Lynn Fasella is here. Good morning to Lynn. So if you can share this on your Facebook page, it would be awesome. Let's see what else is happening. So what's new, everyone? I haven't seen everyone in a while. Haven't had the pleasure. Good morning to Donna. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Sherry said she made everyone leave this morning so she could be relaxed in color. Right, Sherry? I thought that was fun. It's like, turn off the phone. Don't bother me. I had to say that, kind of. I had to say, I'm busy today, you know? Because we're all like, you know, so much in demand. I don't know. It's crazy. All right. So, Farben pencils are my tool of choice today. And that's what we're doing. So we're going to get started in just a minute. Now, what's fun about this book is, you know, I realized that when I did the description of this book is that I said it had 25 pages to color. It actually has 50, because there are 2 pages for each topic, right? So I was kind of thinking topic-wise, like be calm, and here are the words. So let's get started with, let's take a look at the color version this morning. And we'll take a look at the from the author page. Now, I am not gonna lie, I've kind of been tweaking little things throughout this book as I've been as the days have gone on, as I've been promoting it. So from the author is the page, and this talks about the whole concept of this book. So life is full of possibilities, and each one opens doors to new opportunities. So as children, we live each day in awe of life, but as we get older, learn more about the world and ourselves. Too often, we put many of life's possibilities on hold. Did that ever happen to any of you? That has happened to me many, many times. I mean, I guess you could kind of go down that path of like the what, shoulda, woulda, coulda type thing, but we don't want to go down that path because the past is the past, right? This can happen for many reasons: society, personal experiences, health issues, careers, and more. And, you know, I think that a lot of times I take a look at the past couple of years throughout this whole pandemic and think to myself, could I have written this book 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I would say no. So I've learned a lot about myself throughout this whole pandemic, and I bet that's true of a lot of other people. Sherry says, I told my grandchildren that I was changing my name and keeping it a secret. That's so funny. But it's more important to never lose the desire to keep learning, growing, and becoming a better you. And that really is what this book is all about. And I think this book makes is a great message for kids, a great message for adults. So when I had to choose my age groups for this book, it was really difficult because it is really just a lot of different ages. It could be a little kid. It could be something you'd like to teach kids. This is a good graduation gift, maybe. So this book is all about being all you can be. All you can be. Throughout each of these pages, you're going to find coloring pages throughout the coloring book and a short paragraph written about each inspiring word. And there's also note pages included so you can write down your own thoughts. A lot of people commented that was a good idea to keep those pages in there, so I did go with it. My hope is that you enjoyed this book just as much as I enjoyed creating it, especially the coloring part of it. And this just kind of gives a list of all of the things that you can be. And again, paperback, hardcover, Kindle. So let's get started on this page right here. What I'm going to do is actually keep it on my clipboard, which I don't usually do, but I'm going to do that this morning because I want to have a really... Thank you, Marianne. Marianne says it's a beautiful book. Thank you. I'm very proud of it, actually. I really enjoyed creating this book more than any other book. I think the only other books that I enjoyed creating as much as this were my coloring handbooks. So I would venture to say that there will be more books like this rather than just a bland everyday coloring book. Coloring books are not allowed to be Kindle books, so that's why I really wanted the full color. That's why I'm really excited about this full color version being a Kindle, and then it could easily be a good reference guide. Marianne says, one day I would like the colored version. I know, it's really pretty. The color version has a glossy cover, Marianne, and the coloring book, which you have, has a matte finish. So I'm really super excited. I'm really excited to see how the hardcover book is going to look. That's the part that really excites me. I mean, the whole part of it does, but that's really going to be a lot of fun. And I'll do a flip through of that. I'll do a live video of that. I'm going to start out with her hair, and I'm going to go with a few different colors. I'm going to use this ochre style color, which I believe is called Sun Kissed, and I'll use a brown color. And my goal when we're done with these pages, I don't want to color these like super fast like I usually do, because my goal for this is that at the end, every page would be frame worthy. What do you think about that? I think that we should just have like a frame worthy page. I'm not going to go by what's in the book. Thank you so much, Sherry. I think it's just far more than a coloring book. I think that I had a comment yesterday from 2 people telling me that it was way too expensive for just a coloring book. And I tried to tell them this is not just a coloring book. I mean, it's not. Does anybody else? I mean, I would say that people agree. I've had a lot of comments saying that it is. One person told me that it was not. It was far too important to live its life as a coloring book. So there's been some amazing, amazing comments. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Chris. Honestly, I had a really nice time creating this book. I think it was a lot of fun. The other thing is, if you'll notice throughout the book, all of the different people that are in the book, and there's only women. Did you notice that? There's only women because, hey, we have the power, right? That's the other thing. Somebody said to me, how come there's no men? Because we don't need them. We have the power to be, right? So, Chris says it's much needed during these trying times in our world. Exactly. It's a good message for today's world. And Sherry had made a comment. Sherry, I don't know it off the top of my head, but Sherry had commented a similar comment like that. That in this day and age and what's happening in this world, this is a great book with a great message to share with the world. But the people that are in it, all these women, they're not skinny minis. Did you notice that? Nobody is a skinny mini. And I did that on purpose because the world is not full of skinny minis. And in the version that's in color, everybody's skin is a different color. There's not just all the same colored people. And the other part is that some of the people have gray hair. So that part I thought was important to share. this woman is going to have just kind of a, you know, she tried to get her hair colored and maybe it was like streaked in the wrong way, but nice and changed colors, I guess. I'm going to mix some yellow. This is yellow, just plain old yellow mixed with this. And then I'm just going to keep coloring her hair. But at the end, I want this to be frame worthy. So we're going to spend an hour every day. And honestly, if we don't get through this whole page for the hour, what do you think? What do you think about this? If we don't get through the whole page for the entire hour, then next week we'll continue on. Because I want you to walk away with something that you can frame, or that you can say, maybe give as a gift in a frame. What do you all think about that before I, you know, I call gray hair a sparkle of tinsel. Me too, Marianne. How about people that dye their hair gray on purpose? It's a lot of wisdom that's involved with gray hair, don't you think? So what do you all think about following along with this book every week? And I will not finish this page today. We'll spend an hour together this morning, and then we will continue back on with this page. So let's get this woman colored first with her kind of blondish, maybe brownish. Paula says, I am good with taking my time on this page. Awesome, Paula. I agree. Because, you know, I have a reputation of coloring at the speed of lightning, so everyone thinks I color super fast, but when I want to really create something, I won't. I really like the idea of continuing on with the page if it's not done. All right, perfect. You know what I don't want to happen, Chris, is I don't want it to be like, you know, the time I watch someone color a leaf for an hour. Dawn says, I love that idea. Because I want to be able to frame this. Wouldn't this be cool if it's framed? You know what? All right, so the other part, this is the other exciting part of this, is that I now have all different products with all of these images on them on my website. They're called the Just Be products. And if you look in the comments, there's a link to the Just Be products. There's tote bags, mugs, water bottles, greeting cards. I have greeting cards. And there will be, the tote bags are actually available on Amazon, but the rest of the stuff is on my website. I actually am, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a poster in full color. I'm not sure of the size yet, but it'll be a frameable poster, and it'll have all of the color pages, you know, in a grid. What do you think about that one? And then something you could frame. I'm actually trying to do these boots, you know, like Doc Marten boots, but I'm having a little bit of trouble getting them to finishing them. I don't know what's happening. And all of the products that I'm doing for this will be available to be shipped worldwide. Bev says, I call my gray hair the blonde I always wanted to be. I had dark hair. There you go, Bev, right? Sherry says, I love the idea of framing and taking our time. Yeah, exactly. Because we want them to be frame worthy. And I'm just kind of mixing these colors a little bit. I'm not sure what color bow I should use on this woman, but I mean, I guess I could look at my reference photo, right? Did you say what colors you are using? I didn't. I think I did. I'm not sure. I'm using Schwerfarben, first of all. This is Espresso, Yellow, and Sunkissed. Should I write it down on a little card? Piece of paper, maybe? I have a little index card. Let me see if I can get that. Just rummaging through. All right, so this is the hair. And we have this one, this one, and this one. And that's not what's in the colored book, you know. Art the Mug's great. Unbelievable. I think that the products are really nice. I want to see if I can post a product because, oh, I even have blankets. All right, this is called Yellow. This is called Espresso and Sunkissed. Wow, this must be my, like, I was going to say this pen feels like it's going to run out. And sure enough, it did. What Chris is talking about are the mugs. The greeting cards are cool. There's like, for instance, there's this one, Be Sweet. See if I can get a copy of it for you. Boy, I'm surprised my dogs are quiet because they were a little nuts before. I would like my hair to be that color. The blanket. You know, the blanket, Chris, is a minky blanket. You know those minky blankets? They're very, very soft. I think my dogs would like one of those blankets. I have these blankets that I had bought on, you know, I think I bought them at Walmart. They were Better Homes and Gardens, name of the blanket. Oh, Marianne's addicted to those tote bags. Aren't they great? You know, I went to the supermarket the other day to do a curbside pickup. And I have the gnome one in my car. And I use it when I go to a store and I, like, it's my reusable shopping bag that I keep in my car. And the girl comes out and I see her every week when I do this curbside pickup. And she says, oh, where'd you get that tote? I said, I made this. And she didn't believe me. So she just kind of looked at me like, okay, I guess, if you say it. I said, you've never seen this? It's been in my car all this time. I'm here every week and you look at this tote. And today you notice it. It was crazy. But yeah, I wish I could have all of them too, but I can't afford all my totes. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe account so I can buy all of my totes. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, the blanket. The color combination is cool, isn't it? Definitely, Chris says, I'm definitely getting at least one of those mugs. I collect them and I absolutely need to have some of yours. Yeah, the mugs are really nice too. They're good quality mugs. Very, very good quality. All right, so now we've got to work on her skin. And this woman, I'm going to use, let's see, I've got this champagne color. I'm going to keep this over to the side for the hair. I got to get a better pen though. What the heck? This pen is terrible. One day you can show what colors you use for gray hair like me. Well, you could use just various grays. This must mean that Rhonda is full of wisdom because of grays. All right, so the skin, and I'll make a list. You know what I'll do is I'll make a list of all of this and I'll pop it in the event page when we're done. Okay, so I'm going to use champagne. I'll take some pictures of these different swatches. And then I was going to say, we want to make her skin skin beige. And I'm going to use cream and I'm going to use ivory to blend it all. Yeah, the blankets are really pretty. You know, this is ivory and cream. So there'll be a poster, and then the other thing that I'll probably do is a calendar. I'm sure I'll do a full color calendar. You can't really see that, but at least we can see a little bit, right? So we've got these three colors that we're going to use for the skin to get it to be that kind of beige color. And this ivory color I'm going to use as more of my blender. So I'm going to start out with my darker color, which is cream. Now, if you kind of take a look at the bottom part of her face, maybe from the nose down, that's where it's a little bit darker. Do we need tan? Maybe we do need a little bit of a tan color. What do you think? A little bit. This one. Maple. Yes. Maple. What does it mean when your gray is all around your ears? That's the only place it is? I don't know. How about people that just have a streak? I have just a lot of gray hair throughout my entire head. Streaks. Maybe it means that you are just like the smartest person around. Or maybe it means that you're just like super caring. I bet that's what it means. I'm going to use this on the side for her face. And I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit on the side of the pencil. So see right there, I've kind of done like around her chin, so it's kind of dark there. And then it's going to be a little bit dark up here, but all this section is going to be the lightest. So it's like the shadow. It's like the light is coming from here. So I'm going to just kind of blend it like that. And I think by putting the pencil on its side, it will just kind of give it a, like a skin texture in a way. And then for the arms, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do the darker color or the heavier pressure here. Do I need to zoom in, by the way? Let me know if I need to zoom in. There's her little hand. And I'm going to do pants on this woman, okay? Or leggings. She's wearing some navy blue leggings. Now I'm going to take I'm going to go from dark to light. So the next one is cream. And I'm going to do the same thing I just did. I'm going to blend on top, on its side, just like I did. Same pressure. And I'm going in the direction of the actual face. Now, I don't want to do this with like the point down, like perpendicular to the page. Let me know if I need to zoom in, everyone. I don't want to go like with the point completely down because I don't want it to look scratchy. Does that make sense? Especially when it comes to this particular section. Here is champagne, and I'm going with champagne next. And now the champagne color is up here. And maybe kind of on her cheeks a little bit. Isn't it amazing how several colors can really make a huge difference? Look, I should erase that with my electric eraser. And now I'm going to take ivory, and I'm going to use some ivory to blend as my color was blended. Now this one I am definitely using the point down. Most of my gray is around my face. I had COVID in September. For some reason, crazy reason, I started losing my hair. Really, that's just very interesting. How about side effects from COVID vaccines? I had my second booster last, what is today? A week ago yesterday, actually. I had my second booster. And one of the things that the COVID booster or the vaccine did when I had my first booster, which I didn't know that it was doing it, was gave me a very, very bad eczema rash, or so they thought. And like a couple of months later, I got it. And so when I went to the doctor, she told me that it is possible that it was from that. So she said, get your booster, and if it happens again, we'll know. Well, sure enough, guess what? It happened again. All right, so I'm using my ivory. That COVID is a bugger, isn't it? Please zoom in. Thank you, Alice. Alice is paying attention to me. Okay. Thought my chair was going to break. All right, so I've got this ivory color, and I am pressing pretty hard to blend all of this. I feel like my bow should be different, though, because I made her hair, well, I guess it could be the same. I guess the hair is similar. So there's the skin. Okay, so we've got our hair and our skin. We've got these colors for hair. We've got these colors for skin that you cannot see anymore because I've put them somewhere else. I think you can see that. That's probably why I didn't zoom in the first place, right? All right, so now let's work on the bow. So we've got the bow. And again, we're gonna blend some different colors. Now that bow in the color version is a yellow color. It's a deep yellow. So let's see what we have. Is everybody else, what is everyone using for pencils today? All right, I'm going to go with these two yellows. This is Hot Sun and Vanilla Flower. And I'm also going to pop in some white because we might have a white area. So I tend to like to use 3 different colors when I'm blending a lot of colors. The bow can be the same as the shirt. It could be. I think I'm going to go with the yellow, though. I'll go with yellow since I'm trying to follow what's happening here because I didn't realize that I actually did follow the hair. Ooh, Castle Art. Those are good ones. I've got white, can barely see that. And then I've got this Hot Sun. Gotta say it like that, Hot Sun. So we've got, I'm using Star Joy Gold pencils. I don't think I've ever used that. Vanilla Flower. I think I need to get in touch with the Speyer Farben people and see if we can do a giveaway. I don't know if Tanya's watching today, but wouldn't that be awesome if she would do a giveaway with us? All right, so I'm going to start again, dark to light. Okay, so now in this part here is definitely going to be darkest because that's kind of like the inside of it, the inside of the bow. So I'm going to start with the heavy pressure at this little kind of like skinnier part of it. And I'm going to lighten up as I get towards here. And then take my Hot Sun color, put them right here for you, and add it to this section here. Okay? And again on the other side. I have to like twist my arm the other way here. Again, heavy pressure here. And then I'm going to use this Hot Sun color. So that kind of gave it a darker pressure there, lighter here. Use a little bit of white at this edge part and kind of blend it in, but not so much. Kind of like blow away the bloom of the pencil. Some people use a brush. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing like I just did here. In this section here where it's closer to the center of the bow, heavy pressure with this Vanilla Flower. And then as I come out towards this section, I'll lighten up. Okay? And then again on this side. So, you know, this book is going to take us through several techniques. And don't forget, my color alongs still post on Thursdays on YouTube. So those tutorials still post. You can watch. Those will be pre-recorded. That color along book, volume 19, will actually begin on August 1st, believe it or not. This one I'm just doing heavy pressure there. And then here again. So what do you all think about being brave? Did we read through the bravery part of this? Let me talk about this while I'm coloring this. I'll read what this bravery page says. And I'll be posting this page also as a free page for you today on my website so that you can have that page. So let's see what it says. First of all, there's a quote by Nelson Mandela. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who also conquers that fear. He who conquers that fear. What do you think about that? That's by Nelson Mandela. You know, I'm going to tell you, fear takes over a lot of my life. Does anybody else have this feeling? I mean, we don't want you to like expose like we don't want you to like show us all your weaknesses, but you know, everyone's afraid of different things. And I'm going to actually take a little bit of a darker color here too, like a chocolate brown, because I feel like it should be like, is it this brown that I want? Yes. So yeah, so what do you think? I mean, kind of like goes on to talk about a lot of different things. And like the question is what happens? Like what do you do? At times for sure, Paul is saying, yeah, I mean everybody's fear is different, you know, but where does the bravery come in? Like where does that actually happen when the bravery happens? I'm gonna use my electric pencil sharpener to get rid of some color on this, actually. Yes, I worry a lot. Me too, Lynn. I'm told all the time that I worry too much. I do. I don't know what it is. I do worry a lot. I got to get rid of it. I'm working on getting rid of it, getting rid of the worry. You know? I'm better than I used to be, but yeah. I worry a lot. So I'm just going to be putting I just got to get my pencil sharpener, my electric eraser together here. Now I don't have to make that funny noise I used to make, you know? So as I continued on with this, and what I basically wrote about this is that we are often faced with normal, everyday situations. Wait a minute, this is not it. Yes, it is. We are often faced with normal, everyday situations that terrify us. A test of one's inner strength is put to work, and most of the time we surprise ourselves at just how brave we are. The ability to conquer what frightens you is your superpower, right? I mean, I just think about different people that I know that are the bravest people I know. And ironically, it's not the situation that is scary, it's the fear of the unknown, right? Like the first jump you take is always like the hardest. Each of us fear different situations, and that doesn't make you a wimp, quote unquote. It just makes you your own person. The next time you are faced with a situation that requires you to be braver than you think you are capable of being, remember that everyone feels fear, and everyone has that ability to overcome that fear, including you. What do you think? I mean, you know, I'm not the kind of person that needs to be, like, I'm just going to use my little electric pencil sharpener to get rid of some of this color. And this will just kind of give it a little bit of like a light section there rather than using the white. So it's kind of like removing the color. And even on her face, we can do some of that. Just want to make sure it doesn't have yellow on it. Especially up here. You know? And then even on this side right here, we just kind of want to remove that color. I guess I'll remove this because I shouldn't have had that there. And then here. So that just kind of erased what was there. It's like adding white, but not adding white, you know? So I think that we just kind of have to talk ourselves through it. What do you think? I mean, I just feel like sometimes that we end up, I'm going to work on her neck next. I think that sometimes we end up trying to be better than maybe, I don't know, we beat ourselves up, right? Are you your own worst critic? Your own worst critic. All right, so the neck part is skin right there. And again, I did it with that maple color. And now I'm going to move on to cream, just like I did that. And I'm using cardstock paper, by the way. It's Nina cardstock. And then I'm just going to take my ivory color and just blend into those. She looks like she has a little bit of a tan on her neck. Maybe she's out, you know, I think she's out there, like, you know, getting a tan, working on her garden. Lynn says, I think this book/group is going to be so helpful. I think so too. I think it's going to be a way to not just get together. I mean, it's a focus of something else. It's a message. The whole book is a message that we need to hear right now. And there's so many things that we can be, and the world is changing so much. And maybe we've had to change maybe what we can be and maybe what we think we can be, just because of the way everything is. Everything's so virtual now. People are still limited into where they need to go or can go. People have changed what they do. You know, people have changed how they, different ways of living. It's time to move on to the dress. I'm going to use this purple color. We're going to move on to her dress. Now, her dress is a purple color. It's like a light purple. And this is a good way to use that electric eraser too. This is violet. And I really like this wild pansy color. let's hope that this is going to be a good color. So that's a little bit darker. And then we want to add something else in here to kind of really like make it pop. Did you all see that color along, by the way? Make it pop. I'm going to add this pink color just to kind of enhance it. This is pink bubble gum. And we're going to start out with the dress. So let's start out. I'm going to leave that pink for later. I'm going to start out with this wild pansy color. And if you notice at the top of her dress, it's a little bit lighter. So I'm going to start at the sleeve here. And I'm going to do a heavier pressure here at the sleeve. And as I make my way up to the top, I'm going to ease up on the pressure. I must have something underneath here that is causing those little bit of lines. Ooh, I think I do. Okay, it's all right though. Maybe she has a little bit of a wrinkle in her clothes, don't we all? Right? And just leave this up here. Leave that light color up there. And then again for the dress itself. And look how she's not a skinny mini. How cool is that? That's my favorite part. How about you? I thought about doing another one and adding maybe one with characters that were male rather than female. But you know, part of the whole point of this is that, you know, this is like, you know, girl power. I always use cardstock when printing. Do you really? I think it varies, right? I think it can vary for me. I like to use watercolor paper too to color on. That's a really good one to color on. You know, maybe I'll the next page I could print it out on some watercolor paper, and then it would be, we could use watercolor pencils. So I'm just kind of easing up. I don't want to have, what's under here? It's making that. It's driving me crazy. I'm going to put another piece of paper back there. I'll pop this paper back there. I hate when that happens, when there's like a scratch. And I left her buttons. I left her buttons white. I didn't really want to do anything else to them. And when I did this book, I colored them all digitally because of the ink situation. So, you know, when I do a cover of a book, I always color them digitally. Just because I just need the colors to come out right. All right, so there's my purple. And I'm going to move on with this darker purple here, which is the blue violet color. Did I write that? Oh, it's blue violet. I didn't write blue. Blue. Oh, pansy, blue violet. And I'm just going to go back where the darker areas are, and then just a little bit up. I mean, it's a subtle detail. It adds a little bit, but I know it's there. You know it's there now. So now we all know it's there. The secret is out. All right, so there's that little bit of that blue violet as I'm moving up. And then I'm going to take this pink color just to kind of give it a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of an oomph, I guess. And I'm just going to add it to the top portion of her sleeve a little bit, very lightly, and then come down. Very light and then come down. This one is called Pink Bubblegum. And then the same here. So what I want to do today, it's already 10:50. Can you believe it? What I want to do this morning is I want to finish up this woman. I'll do the rest of her clothes. I'll do her pants. And then we'll stop for the day because I don't want to keep you forever. I mean, we could be coloring for on and on and on. And then when we meet again next Wednesday, we'll continue on with this page. So I think it'll be a fun way to get you, learn something new, get this person to stop texting me, learn something new, and really get involved with different techniques and spend some time. You know, it's like a little bit of a little escape. And there'll always be replays too, just in case you miss these. So I've just got that little bit of pink there. You can see it a little bit, but I really like how it's just kind of lighter there. I'm not going to do anything with my electric eraser for this one, but I am going to go back and now add some yellow to her sleeves. And this one is called Vanilla Flower again. And then the bottom part of the pockets. And again here. This bottom pocket section. And now I've got some different sections on the bottom of the dress. I'm just going to do full heavy pressure. We're making a pattern here, every other with this vanilla flower. Yeah, well, I can put my watercolor paper in the printer. I use Canson watercolor paper, but it depends on your printer. It depends on the watercolor paper. So some paper is thicker than others. Some of it just doesn't go in the printer, you know. Now we're going to do her legs. I'm sorry, not her legs, the red. So we've got to get a red color. I'm going to go with a very deep red for this. And this one's called, watermelon. Do I like watermelon? I do. There's watermelon. This one is called watermelon. And again, heavy pressure here. And then heavy pressure here again. So this is a solid kind of a burnishing technique at the bottom for these. I'm sitting here with my mouth hanging open because I'm reading Sandra's comment. Sandra is saying, coloring with Anne and new friends in the group has been a big help to me. Coloring led to learning some drawing and painting skills, overcame a lifelong belief that I had no visual art ability. Thank you so much, Sandra. I'm going to tell you, comments like that are what keeps me doing this. I was talking to somebody a while back that did not know that I did this. And actually maybe just maybe like a month ago. And the one thing that they said to me was that, do you realize how many people you are actually helping with teaching them something, or even just the video itself, and maybe just like keeping them from being lonely and something to do, and just kind of bring a group together. And I've always believed that even if there was just one person that I could reach and to change and make a difference in that person's day on that day, then that is what will keep me doing this. So that is the goal, or the kind of like the foundation of doing live color alongs, so that people kind of have a gathering space. Plus, we're ahead of our times because this was happening way before the pandemic, right? So this was happening way before everyone went virtual. And here we were, you know, being our virtual selves amidst the real world. So, All right, so let's move on to the pants. Now, the pants are blue. I'm assuming that she's wearing jeans, and she found these jeans and making me laugh when I was feeling down. Thank you, Sandra. Well, let me tell you. I can always find a way to laugh every single day. You know? You got to find time to laugh. You got to find time to laugh amongst the mundane. And on top of it, crazy things happen in my life, let me tell you, that make me laugh. All right, so I've got Cobalt Blue and Cerulean, and I think this will really make a huge difference. So here are her legs. I just have weird stuff happen to me every day. I don't know. Did you all see the story I posted about the mouse? Did you see that, Alice? The story I posted about the mouse being in the mouse in my house. I'm gonna start here with I was gonna say. All right, I'm about to color this, and I'm reading what Sherry's commenting on, and I'm saying I'm going to start with $1.99. The watercolor paper I have is You Create 90-pound 9x12 gutter for $1.99 at Ollie's, Sherry is telling us. Wow, that's amazing. I think I might have that paper, actually, that I got in a set with watercolor paper. Paul is saying, these types of get-togethers I love, especially since what we have been going through in the last couple of years. It keeps a social aspect to things. New book theme. You gotta find time to laugh. Oh, my goodness. All right, so I'm going to make you laugh about this one while I'm coloring these pants. So, I have a mouse problem in my house. I'm not going to lie. The whole neighborhood, right? So, every time they, like, redo a house in my neighborhood and stop, like, ripping houses up, we always have a problem with the mouse. I know I should make sure I go on my foundation and clog every little thing, but my house is over 100 years old. It's a stone foundation. If I'm going to start doing that, it'll be my life's work. Okay? So, you do what you can. Anywho, moving on from there. That all being said, from time to time, I'll put on a mouse trap. Now, I just want the mouse out of my house. I don't want the mouse hanging with me, living with me. I mean, I do feel bad for the mouse to a point, but, you know, when you start to ruin my stuff, goodbye to you. So, I had a trap set last week, I think it was, and I'm going to blend this with the Cerulean, by the way. There's really a point to what I'm doing. So I had a trap set for this mouse. It was sitting there. It was up the second floor of my house. It was next to a couch. And I went into the room, went upstairs one morning, and I said, you know, I looked over and I said, you know, I must be losing my mind because I know I put a trap there with a little tiny piece of American cheese in it, squished into the trap. I really do believe I did it. Could not find it anywhere. I looked all over the room. Finally, I just had to... I looked everywhere. Could not find this trap. Finally, I said, this has got to be underneath the couch. Now, how could this mouse take the trap and walk around? Like, carry it with him. Her. I don't know whether it was a he or a she. I don't know how this could have happened. But anyway, I go to move the couch over a little bit. And sure enough, there is the mouse with its little tiny nose stuck inside the trap. And it is kind of moving around, and sure enough, it was carrying the trap around, and that's why it made it over there. Well, it must have carried it all over the room before it got to that point. So there's the mouse in the trap. So now I've got to pick it up. Well, I have this thing that's like you know those long grabber things? Like it's got the claw, the thing that you grab. You know what I'm talking about. Gripper. So I'm looking for the gripper. My mom's with me, and I say to her, where is that thing? It's downstairs at the bottom of the stairs in the front hall. Okay. I said, okay. So I got the couch. I don't know how I did it, but it was like, you know, you move a car off a person, flip the couch over onto its side, and I said, okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit of black underneath here, just for some something here, you know. I flipped the couch over to its side, and there's the mouse in the trap. I looked at my mom and I said, okay, watch that mouse and do not let anything happen to it. I'm going to go get the thing to pick it up. I run all the way downstairs. I come back with the gripper, and I grip up the mouse. Now, what am I going to do with it? So I was going to just throw it out the window in that room, but for some reason that room has a screen that doesn't pull up. It's one of those screens. It's a full screen. So rather than go through all that trouble, I looked at her and said, go in the other room and open the window and open the screen. Hurry. So there she is, hurrying her way as fast as she could. Runs to the window, tells me it's open. I go running with this mouse at the end of the gripper, and I stick my arm out the window and I fling it. out the window, which I could not see where it was going because I was on the second floor and there's a top of the front porch is there. So sure enough, there it goes. It hits the street, 2 houses down or so, and mouse comes out of the trap. I go down to look for it. Gone. The mouse is gone. I'm gonna use this brown on the shoes. That's my mouse story. Anyway, it was really funny, actually. It was hysterical. This one is called Honey Brown. My story that I put on the post that I made on Facebook was far, it wasn't like what I just told Alice. It was more like a summary of what happened. I mean, the whole part was funny because here I am running across the whole, like, I ran through like 3 rooms with this thing at the end of this gripper, hoping that it's not going to crawl up my arm because it was still alive at this point. And it was really funny. It was hysterical. The part that was the funniest, though, is that here I am saying to my... Now, the other part is that the way my house is laid out is that there was a lot of, like, lefts and rights that you had to make. There wasn't, like, one... It definitely was not a straight line from the... from where I was to the front window where I was headed. So definitely was not. And certainly there was furniture. So I felt like I was on like this, you know, police chase where people could be throwing furniture, clearly throwing furniture in front of me, but it did not happen that way, thank God. But anyway, the mouse went out. But the funniest part was my mom, who was standing there saying, what do I do? What do I do? I said, just go open the window, quick, run, you know, run like the wind, that type of thing. So basically that is how that you would have died. I'm so afraid of mice. You know, I'm not afraid anymore, Sherry. I am afraid of that bug, though, with 1,000,000 legs. That part bugs me. A bug that bugs me. I always seem to find that bug at the oddest times. Like one morning when I was just about to step into the shower, there it is in the bathtub. So, I don't know. I mean, crazy times that you see the thing you're afraid of, right? I just don't... Lane's cracking up. I just don't want to... have the mouse near me, you know. Anyway, okay, so let's see. So we've completed this woman. We've completed the lady. I don't know what her name should be. I guess we could give her a name. And I'm going to stop for the day. And next week we're going to come back and we're going to resume this. What I will do though is I will post the page with the words on my Facebook, on my website, actually, as a free page. So when we're working on all of this too, we can get this finished too. So next week we'll move on to the flowers. So let's just do a quick flip through of both of these books before we end today. We can talk about them. So this book was kind of, I don't know, it wrote it from my heart. Meant a picture of all of this will stay with me for a very long time, Chris says. Oh, Chris, the stories that I could tell. Let me tell you. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can see this. I guess I could write a book about all crazy stories. That would be interesting. I was being brave just handling the mouse. No, I wanted it out. Out. Goodbye to you. Oh, you're welcome, Paula. So here's a flip through of the color version. Now, the color version is available on Amazon as a paperback and a hardcover and a Kindle. So the Kindle one is really cool. The Kindle one is only $2.99, and it's a good book to have, just maybe something to use as a guide for a colored version, so that you could say, what do I like, what would I color this page? What colors would I use? You don't have to copy them, but you could simply use them as maybe just kind of a guide. And all of the links to all of the books are up in the description of this video. So that's what's happening with that. So there's different products that are available for this book also. On my website, Manera.com, you can click on Just Be Products, and there's tote bags. The tote bags are on Amazon, but there's water bottles, there's blankets, there's greeting cards, mugs. There's going to be a framed print in a frame, I believe. I'm not sure if I can get it in a frame or not, but it'll be a framed print of all of these pages in a grid. So it'll be something to hang on the wall. I thought it would be a really nice thing. It won't be the ones with the words. It'll be just just these here. Eventually there'll be a calendar. So a few years ago, Donna always has a good funny story actually. A few years ago, our pipes burst. We decided to re-pipe the whole house. While at it, gutted the existing bath. To save a few dollars, I tore out the tile. Well, I came upon a recent colony of dead mice that I had to dispose of. Oh my, really? I've had some crazy things happen. I mean, crazy. I feel like I should just like write it down every day. That's how I feel. There's this person that I follow that's on my friends list from Facebook, and she always gives like a day in the life. And let me tell you, that woman should write a book because her things that happen to her are pretty crazy. So, all right, so that's my colored version. And then the coloring book, same exact thing, but it is coloring pages. These books are 8.5 by 11 inches. There's 50 pages to color. I guess I made the mistake of thinking there was 25. There's 25 topics, but there's 25 pages to color. So every Wednesday, I'll be here live right here on this Facebook page for this live video at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be coloring a page from this book, talking about the different topics that are in it, talking about the different things that you can be. Maybe it's even a fun thing to get kids involved with as they are on summer vacation, especially maybe maybe the preteens, like the junior high school kids, or like even 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. My cat tried to warn us. I had Paisley pick up a mouse one time in my living room. I went to look, and there was a mouse that ran across the floor, and she, one of my dogs, and she grabbed it. And I went to look, and there was a tail hanging out of her mouth. I was horrified by that, let me tell you. I told her to drop it. She knows how to do that. And the mouse was pretty much dead just from being inside her mouth. But I brushed her teeth after that. It was disgusting. So anyway, so this is the book. So all of the things that you can be, again, this book's dedicated to my mom. And amazing, smart, brave, strong, sassy. Chris likes sassy. Funny, happy, grateful. I almost took that out, by the way. But then when Chris told me she loved it, I said I've got to leave it. Happy, grateful, feisty, calm, proud, humble, still, loyal, positive, artsy, caring, faithful, sweet, authentic, kind, wise, fair, patient, and honest. So I think that these are definitely qualities that everyone needs to be. So, any questions about what we did today, or what's going to be coming forward, and what's going to be happening throughout all of these? What I will do is I will post. I'll post what we did so far today as our work in progress, and I will organize this in a better fashion today and post the colors that we used for my Sperfarben collection. And I think that's all. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I'm so happy that everyone was here. It was good to be live with everybody again, and I'm glad that my dogs weren't crazy, because usually they're a little crazy right before. So I hope you'll be back again next week. Take some time out of your day, just kind of an hour. Thank you, Bev. I appreciate it. And I'll see everyone next week. Have a great day, everyone. I hope that you can be brave today, but I also hope that there's nothing that forces you to be brave, or gives you reason to be brave, right? But I'm sure that you're braver than you imagine. Thanks so much. Hey, you're welcome, Chris. You're welcome, Paula. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you next week.